What's up, everybody? Your boy Russell here. Today, I'm going to teach you the basics of music production. I'm going to teach you how to build a beat from the ground up, how to take these different parts, create a song, and then you can use this for your own music. That's what I'm hoping you do with this. Whenever I first started getting into music production, I searched YouTube. I spent hours and hours and hours learning how to make beats, watching videos like this one. So this is me. I'm turning around with the knowledge that I've gained now and giving it back, hoping to help somebody else. So here we go. Let's dive in. Okay, so starting off, I typically either use drums or a melody to begin each song I'm building. So with this particular song or this particular beat, I actually started off with drums. So let me play this drum beat for you real quick. Let's get started. All right, so that's pretty catchy, pretty simple, pretty easy to get hooked on. So that's where the song starts with. Now this drum loop, that's exactly what it is. It's a loop. So I do program my drums sometimes, and sometimes I use loops as well. Just whatever I'm feeling like with this particular song. I was actually inspired to create this entire song whenever I heard this one loop. So in this instance, I did use a loop from Splice. If you're not familiar with that, you should definitely check it out if you're getting into production. It's all kinds of loops and samples they have. You can download them. You can get a subscription. It's very cheap, especially for what you get. So if you're not familiar with that, definitely check that out. But yes, I did get this drum sample from Splice. So check that out if you're interested in that. But so this next part right here, and actually let me go over this real quick. So these right here, those little huzz you hear in there, I actually put those in there. These are also Splice samples. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this right here, let's just solo this real quick. We'll just put this little cycle here. All right, check it out. All right, so that's the Splice loop. Now, this right here, these are actually samples from Splice, these two right here. But I actually put these in here, so check it out. So it just gives it some extra texture, extra little hook within a hook, so to speak. So that takes care of that. But anyway, I just wanted to break that down for you. So coming up next, that would be like the intro of the song. Real short, real sweet, get you hooked in. Going into this next part here, this would most likely be like a verse. So check this out. This is the next part we're looking at. All right, so you can hear right there, it's just synth, basically. So you got this guy over here. Let's just drag this over here. All right, so you have this right here. I'll just isolate these for you real quick so you can see how this all kind of comes together. So this is a basic little chord progression here. Nothing too crazy going on. And then looking down here, we'll solo this, and I'll show you what it sounds like together. This is essentially the same exact thing. It's just a different instrument, so check it out. Okay, so nothing special. It's just very thin, very. It's just kind of there. So By itself, it's not the greatest thing, but if you mix these two together, check this out. So as you can tell, it's just more layered. It's just more textures. So you got this one cover more so the high side, and then you have this down here kind of covering more so the low side. So blended together sounds really good. And so that's pretty much it. So all together you have this. So very simple. So that's going to be more so, like I said, like the verse. So the vocals are really going to carry that part right there. That's at least that's what I'm hearing in my head. So myself, I'm a singer as well. I'm an artist, and this is probably going to end up being one of my songs. But that's what I'm hearing right there. I'm hearing some vocals kind of carrying that part. That's why it's very basic. In all honesty, more basic songs, not always, but for the most part. Most of your basic layers like this are going to be the best, especially if we're having actual, very vocal heavy, very vocal focused types of music. This is usually going to be okay, and like the best thing to do. So it might just be my opinion, but that's where I stand at least. So this right here, now this is actually I play guitar as well, so I played this little riff right here. I'm about to show you. It's just another texture. And I'm assuming this would probably be like a pre-chorus right here. So let's check that out. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So nothing too crazy. We just added like another little melody here, a little riff, just to give it some extra character. So that would be like the pre-chorus, or just second half of that verse, whatever you would consider that. And then this next part is going to be a build-up. So anytime you have like a, if you're familiar with any kind of song structure, you're pretty much usually going to have some type of build-up going into the chorus. And that's what this next part is. So this is kind of interesting. Let me break down what I did here. So what's great as well about Splice is that you can get all kinds of samples, loops, and everything, and it's just a cheap. Here we go. It's just it's pretty cheap for everything you get. It's definitely worth it. So it's basically like a Netflix for loops and samples. So once again, check that out. So little things like this, I'm not really into creating my own sound effects as far as like just like random, riser effects or explosion effects or bass drops. I'll find those somewhere else. Like I said, this guitar right here, I do play multiple instruments, so that guitar is 100% all me. Okay, but here we go. So these right here, these are just, I want to play these for you just kind of separately first. So let me show you this, and I'll show you what it all builds into. Alright, so that alone sounds really freaking cool by itself. Sounds like some Transformer stuff going on here. So that's the first thing I got going on. I love drops, any kind of like just drop of anything, bass drops, whatever. I think sound awesome. Alright, so the next thing we have here, it's going to be this right here. If I can get this stacked right. Here we go. Alright, so this right here, I think it's just a crash. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a crash. Nothing too crazy. That's actually going to be for going into this chorus, so my bad. That's actually not a riser of any kind. Alright, here we go. So now we're on the right track here. you go. It's just a snap. It's a really super reverb snap. So you hear that? Just you hear that by itself, and it's like, well, it's not really a riser. It's just kind of there, but you'll hear it. I like kind of just breaking this down. Like I said, this is real simple for training type of purposes, I guess, or teaching type of purposes. I made this pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory here. It's really basic beat here, basic song structure. But like I said, it's to help you kind of figure out how to do this yourself for your own songs. So this right here, check it out. Here's another one. Alright, so we're kind of getting to the next part there, but you get what I'm going with there. It's just a nice little... There we go. Alright, so there's that one. Let's go to the next one. Let's see what else we have here. I don't think I did. There we go. Ooh, there we go. Hear that? It's a little bubble. Like I said, every single one of these little build-up random noises, those are all from Splice. So you can literally download these same exact sounds. So there's like a little riser right there. That's pretty cool. And we got a couple more here. It's like a tambourine, a really fast tambourine. Yeah. And that was actually a tambourine, and I just really sped up the tempo of it. So I did slightly manipulate that one to get that sound. And here's the last one here. I promise you, once you hear the drop, it's pretty wonderful. Like with everything all together. Okay, so this is actually the huh thing, if you remember. Check it out. See? Huh. Still playing it all together, sorry. There we go. Alright, so there's that. And then, now just check this out. Here we go. What I'm going to do is actually, let's just do this here. Alright, so I just soloed these right here. So all you're going to hear is the big build. Here we go. Let's actually, here, let's play the whole thing, not just that part. Like the whole, there we go. Check it out. So I'll give it a nice little rise. So anyway, so check this out. So there you have it. You have the rise going into it. It's a nice transition. So all this is pretty similar. So you want to have some breaks in here that kind of help to transition into the chorus, because you want the chorus to be big. So you hear whatever that really just builds the volume. It builds the builds the entire kind of feel into this. But check this out. So let's break down this chorus right here, and that's pretty much gonna be it for this video. Like I said, keeping it real simple, just for educational reasons. So let's go ahead and break this down. So this would be what's the chorus. So just check this out. We'll listen to this together, and I'll show you how it's broken down. all I have so far. This will just be the chorus. As you can tell, it's like just really big right there. A lot of the same elements are actually in here, but there are some variations here. So starting off, we'll just sew this one at a time, okay? And I'll just show you how I built all of this together. So right there, you obviously have the main guitar part. Alright, so that's pretty much just looping there. Alright, right here we have the bass guitar. Check it out. So let's hear those together. Alright, so you got that. Alright, the next one. Look at that, Midnight Drive. Let's see. Okay, this is just a synth. This is also just a synth. So check this out. These are the two synths right here. At the beginning of the verse. So you can hear right there, that's instantly adding character. Okay, so really nothing too crazy right here. The one thing that's really different so far is this bass guitar in there. If you notice, I don't have bass through here at all, but I do have. That's one reason why I have two layers right here. The same thing, kind of it fills it in, adds character to it, but it's not super bassy until the actual bass actually kicks in during the chorus, and that just makes the chorus sound even that much bigger. So that's what's going on here. So I won't bore you to death with this too much, but yeah, then we got the drums. So you're looking at the drums here. So like I said, the only thing different so far there is the bass. Now, this next part, I'm going to change this up here for you real quick because I want you to hear this. So this next part is a melody. It's a melody that's different so far than what I have let you listen to so far. So essentially this is just a different melody. Check this out. And I'm just going to go ahead and play both of these because these are actually it's the same thing I did with these over here, these synths. These two are actually the same exact thing, but they're just different sounds. But together they sound awesome. Okay, so you might hear that and be like, that's not really doing anything for me by itself. All right, but check it out with all this. Okay, here we go. So there you have it. That's pretty cool. It's like a little additional melody. It's funny because by itself it's really not anything special, but once it's blended in, it sounds really nice. Let's see. I do actually have a few more things down here. Let's keep on going here. As you can tell, I don't really have this organized the best here, but it's all good. That's why we're breaking it down here. So ignore these right here. These bottom ones. These are some vocals I recorded. I'm in the process of recording and writing for this song, so I'm not going to play these for you. And this is actually just an electronic guitar, some chords I ended up not using, but I like to hold on to things, I guess. So, alright, so I have this in here. It's just real simple. This is just actually just like a hi-hat. Just add some extra textures. That's another thing, too. So you come up to your basics, and then especially for your chorus, you want your chorus to sound really thick. So if you're going to play something that's similar, wait to add all your big stuff, for the chorus. Save that for the chorus. So you kind of want your song to build. You want to start off kind of simple and then build its way up for the chorus. At least in this case for sure. So this right here, just check this out. Really simple. Nothing special at all. So it's literally just that for the entire chorus. But listen for that real quick. Nothing too crazy. It's very, very subtle, very tucked in there, but it does add a little extra character. It's like a passive thing, you don't really notice it's there unless it's pointed out, but it does add some extra character. All right, so here we go. Now it looks like, see, we got some different things here. We only got 3 more tracks for me to kind of break down for you here. It's actually some chords, electric guitar here. So once again, this is actually kind of tucked in a little bit, but once it's blended with everything else, it just makes it sound really thick. And that's just because this is nowhere else in the song except for the chorus. So instantly, the listener is going to hear it. You might not be able to pull that out exactly if you're not really listening. If you're not listening for it, you might not be able to point it out instantly, but it definitely makes it sound thicker. So I had that in there. I had this. Once again, that's also just tucked in the background, so you're going to hear it, but you're not going to be like, oh man, I hear that guitar in there, if you're not listening for it. It's just in there. So I actually did not record these two right here. That's not me playing guitar. That's my buddy Justin, so he actually came in and laid that down for me. But yeah, I did end up using those. It sounded good. Just made it sound thick. And right here is just very simple. I just have a crash. Let me actually solo the track. So just a real nasty sounding crash, but it's just at the very beginning of each kind of loop here. If you see, it kind of follows these glass bells. Just kind of every segment here, it's just one on each. So check it out one more time. So as you can tell, it sounds pretty big. We got all these tracks here. It's kind of miscellaneous things. We got these main things, these main melodies. We got the main hook, like the rhythmic. It's really catchy. And all these things is kind of, it's like glue. You take all these different things, you put them together. Once you put the main things together, then you kind of add all these little things just to make it sound that much thicker. So last but not least, let's just back it up here. Let's listen to the whole thing real quick. All together. You can see how everything builds. In all reality, this is very simple. But like I said, everybody starts somewhere. And at the end of the day, I think this song's going to end up being really great. Like I said, it's very simple. It's very plainly structured. Nothing really too crazy going on here at all. But it's really catchy. It sounds really good. And that's really all that matters. So check it out. Here we go.
So that wraps it up for this video. Like I said, I wanted to keep it simple. I just wanted to show you how to build a song from the ground up. I know it can vary depending on what kind of genre you're playing, but all the same elements pretty much apply. You know, you're going to take something, you can start off with something simple, and you can build off of that. Now, depending on how many instruments you want to add to that, that's completely up to you. So the world is your oyster. But either way, if you've stuck around this long, you've watched this whole video, I definitely appreciate you. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button and also allow notifications as well. So that way you can stay up to date on all my future release videos. Hope you have yourself a wonderful day, night, morning, whatever time it is you're watching this video. Either way, stay blessed. Till next time.